Welcome back. I'm going to do some twin needle or double needle sewing, testing the different stitches on this 503A. And before I started that, I just wanted to show some of the machine here, because I usually focus the stitching videos down on the bobbin and needle bar and needle area. So I just wanted to show a few things, so when I'm describing it in the video, you'll have an idea. This center controls, you see here the left, center, and right. That's for the needle. And most of the time that definitely stays in center. Left or right usually is for a zipper, but if you twin needle zigzag sew, and for some of the pattern cams, you want to move that up to the left position. And so when I say I'm going to move the needle left, that's what I'm going to be doing. And let's see if I can show the needle bar here. Is it I come down a little bit, maybe a little more light there. Yeah, you can see as it moves left and center, right, etc. So that's what I'll be doing. The machine, the stitch width, you see that STR, that's for straight. And when I start to zigzag and I say I'm going to do a 2 width, a 3 width, like that, that's what I'll be moving. And by the way, the number 5 widest width on this machine is 3/16 of an inch. And this is the stitch length control from the longest stitch, which is all the way down, which would be 6 stitches per inch. Let me get this little camera to focus there. Moving up, on the left side you see 8, 12, 20, on the right 7, 10, 15. Those are just some gauge marks there. You can do a 12.5. You know, the lever is infinite settings, because it's a slide. Once you get up past that 20 into the what's marked as the fine area there, the stitch is getting just shorter and shorter and shorter. And also going up on this is where you start getting into reverse. And you can find a center point there where it's almost like neutral, where the feed dogs will just kind of go up and down. They won't really pull front to back or reverse back to front. Then as you go farther up here, it starts going into reverse. And the first thing you're going to hit is the short stitches of reverse. And the farther up you go, the longer stitch of reverse. So when I say I'm going to, do a number 12 stitch or an 8 or a 15, that's what I'll be moving. And this is the thread control. If I can rotate the hand wheel here, you can see the little lever pop out there and pull a measured length of thread. So I will be doing both the threads the way recommended in the Singer manual for this, using the automatic thread control. You see my other video, 6 ways to thread this. But I'll be doing it this way, and up here on the discs, those 3 discs there, I will be one thread will be going through 2 and 3, between discs 2 and 3, like it is now. You can see that. And the other thread, the second thread, will be going between discs 1 and 2 up towards the front right in there of the disc. And then they both follow the same pattern all the way down, except one thread goes through the final slot. The second thread does not. It comes down, goes through all the other, goes through the wire pigtail, skips this, and goes right into the needle. And you can see I've got the needle plate off. I wanted to show you in my straight stitch video, this is the straight stitch foot that I used. And that's a very slant shank straight stitch for very fine control of a very fine straight stitch. And you use that in combination with this needle plate, which has the little hole. And the purpose of that is the fabric is held much closer to that hole, so you get less puckering, you get less play, you get less thread twist, and you get a much finer straight stitch. When we're going to go into twin needle, though, I've got to put this multi-purpose needle plate in here with the oval slot, because I have to have room for both needles now, and you would use this for twin needle and also zigzag sewing. So I'll be using that in a combination with the multi-purpose foot. Slant shank multi-purpose, which you also need for twin needle and zigzag, because the more room for two needles and room for it to zigzag back and forth. And that kind of oval slot right there in the foot lines up with that oval slot in the needle plate, and that's why you use them together. So I'll be putting that needle plate in place there. And to change needle plates, you always make sure your take-up lever right here is all the way down. And if you're real careful, you can leave your needle in when you do this. But you take your plate then and you slide it in from the back like so. You get it lined up on those pins, and then you lower it down. So raise it up with that lever and lower it down. Raise it halfway for darning, or all the way up to change it. Lower it down. So that's just a run through of the machine. That's my tension when I say I'll be setting it 4, 3, 2. Of course, this famous Singer right on the front. The other thing is, if I talk about changing the pressure on the presser foot on this machine, it's just a numbered dial right here. So 4 is pretty common. 5, 6, 7, 8, more 9, like that, more power. It's got a spring in here, a spring mechanism that puts more pressure on the foot. And you can go all the way back to D for darning, which puts hardly any pressure on the plate, so you can kind of freestyle and darn. So if I say I'm going to change my pressure to 5 or 6 or 3, that's what I'm doing, just opening up the nose and turning that dial. And if I get into any other pattern sewing with some of the special top hat cams, I'll show you the top hat cam here. To take it out or put it in, the width has to be on straight, because there's a little mechanism over here for the swing bar that gets in the way. So this should be on straight stitch, and then you just grab that cam up here and pull it straight up. And when you take a look, this is cam 0. You see the zigzag pattern on it, and there's a little circle number there, a circle with the number 0. When you put this back in, of course your width is still on straight, but there's a guide post right there, and it goes with this slot here. So that's how you line it up, because if you don't, you can't push it on. So you line up that slot with the post and just push it down and snap it in place. Up and off, down and in. So that's a little overview of this, just to give you an idea when I'm talking, so you'll know what's going on. So I'll get this set up for twin needle sewing, and we'll do some testing of it. Don't go away.